welcome back to another stream. Today we are actually going to be flying on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I know it's been like 2 years since we've used Microsoft Flight Sim on stream, so it's kind of exciting actually. But today we're going to be checking out the Fenix A320 V2, which is the recent Fenix A320 update that was released. And we're going to be going over the changelog a little bit, over the main changes that took place on this update. And we're also going to be doing a short flight from Rome to Bologna. It's really short. So hopefully that'll give you enough to kind of tell what changed and what didn't change on the update. And do let me know if you think that there should be any other changes to the Fenix after we try it out. So I only got the Fenix A320 recently, so to be honest, I don't know how much changed, but again, we're going to be going over the changelog and we're going to be trying it out. So far I've only done one flight on it and it's been absolutely amazing. I love the sounds, the systems are very in-depth, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head on over to the cockpit. And we're also going to be checking out the MK Studios Bologna scenery, which I'm excited about. So battery 1 and 2, external power on, and we're going to head on over to SDS system 1 on for all of those. It's going to take about 9 minutes to align. Self-test in progress. That's one thing. Last flight, you know how I'm so used to the toll list, not actually really caring about the inertial reference data. So I pushed back because I was in a hurry. I pushed back, and the IRS on this thing kind of gave me issues because it wasn't fully done aligning. It was like aircraft going too fast or in movement or something. So it's super in depth, which really surprised me because this aircraft's more on the lower end in terms of price. So far I'm really liking it. One major change I do know about is the performance. So I'm currently running this thing on the 3090. So I'm not really sure if, well, I have another friend that uses this aircraft and he's on a 3070. So it's not really about the GPU, because his performance went up a lot. It was made pretty clear on the changelog that it is a CPU based update, so my CPU clock speed is not that high, even though it's like a 12900K. You would say that's like an insane CPU, but for me, I would say that definitely helps my frames a lot. I'm getting really solid frame rates right now. So we're gonna go over the changelog once we cruise, but right now I really want to get out of the ground, show you guys kind of how I set up. So I figured it out pretty fast. I didn't really have to watch tutorials for the fuel and stuff. Pretty much all I had to do was click on this, and basically I could just adjust all these planned values. So numbers are gonna be pretty arbitrary on my end, since don't really care that much. According to my sim brief plan though, we are definitely going to be having around 5.6 thousand kilograms, no, 5.6 thousand, yeah, kilograms of fuel. So I always put 1,000 more than what's on sim brief, even though I'm pretty sure that sim brief's got some reserves on it, and you can see the real life, the values change in real time, which is pretty cool. You also kind of get a diagram of how your passengers are distributed, kind of packed down there for sure. But yeah, so we're gonna go from Rome to Bologna today. going to be the Alitalia 1314. For those of you who are not aware, this airline does not exist anymore. This is the retro livery, the one I'm using right now, just because it's better. The modern one is also nice, but I prefer this one. Can't remember exactly. I think I have to input the values from here. So our zero fuel weight is 53.1, and our percentage is 27.1. So no, actually this is the one we should be looking at. So 53.1, 28.9, 28.9, 6.6, and set our departure. We're going to be flying out of runway 25. I think it's 5A. So van transition. See if it's already in there. I guess that works. Lima 995 airway. Actually, you know what? To make it even simpler, I'm just gonna set up my ILS 30 arrival, so we're gonna head straight to Lomed. Let's see. Delta, no? Okay. Yeah, okay, there it is. So this is our arrival, the ILS 30 into Bologna. Don't have any discontinuities. So here we enter our performance data, which should once again be pretty straightforward. All you have to do is go to departure perf and ICAO code, pretty much. Okay, yeah, we got a dry service today, and we're gonna sync load sheet. I always set 1 plus F for flaps. Force toga. We're gonna do toga today. Packs are gonna be on. Sync live weather. Calculate. So those are our V speeds, 113, 135, 135. You guys are probably going to be taking more time on it. 1 up 0.3 for the trim. Usually I always forget to set my trim, but hopefully not today. 1 minute left for alignment of the IRS, 30,000 feet straight. And fuel pumps are coming on. I set my beacon light, and we're gonna start up our APU since we're gonna get out of here pretty quick. But yeah, so first change so far, performance. It's absolutely fantastic. I've never had, on the little time that I've had this aircraft, performance issues were never really a thing. And one thing I really like is the fact that you can move around the cabin and that it's so realistic. It's really well textured. The signs actually do work, so let me just go ahead and turn on the seatbelt sign right now. Show you guys that it did indeed turn on. If I turn it off, it goes back off. So That's a really neat thing. I actually noticed like halfway through one of my flights, and it was really, really nice. Really, really cool touch. Adds to the immersion a lot. So, let's see. Let me give you guys some more details on the A320 changelog. So, Block 1 contains fly-by-wire updates, so the aircraft should now handle a lot better. A lot better than it did before. And updates with avionics, which I definitely noticed because it is very, very sophisticated. Let's go ahead and push back, and we're going to talk more about these later. So ground services, I just connect the tug and start the pushback as soon as he's on there. Get rid of the parking brakes. You guys obviously won't do it that quickly. I didn't even let the tug connect. But yeah, I'm just using the built-in Fenix V2. Pushback thing. Oh, and sounds. Something you can't overlook on this aircraft. You simply can't overlook the sounds on this thing. They're absolutely fantastic. I think it's the best default sound pack I have ever seen on any aircraft I've ever bought. So let's go ahead and start up engine number 2, and you guys are going to be able to hear some of that. Captain Lee, we will not be having default scenery in Bologna. Obviously in Rome, we are going to be having it because the current one is just not worth it for me. But wow, those sounds are absolutely amazing. Alright. Predictive wind shear, obviously. GCS. That stuff's coming on, and need to make sure my transponder is on mode Charlie. I always hit that thing when trying to get the armrest. There we go. The cockpit is very interactive. That's another thing. So that's on above mode. 7,000 I'm pretty sure is the default. Lee, you've been telling me that for 50 years. Literally all you talk about is how it's the fact that I need GS sets. I will get it eventually. Okay, so APU's off, so just gonna arm my speed brakes, go flaps 1. Sounds are amazing. I absolutely love the sounds. Okay. Forgot to calibrate this thing. Okay. So, nose lights set to TATC, that's pretty much all. I'll leave this up because I really don't need to have it down. Open up my Navigraph stuff. And we're going to import flight from SimBrief, and we're just going to go ahead and bring that right on in. And we're going to go ahead and open up our airport charts. So TATC, airport, I'm going to open that up. And we're going to taxi on over to runway 25, which is all the way down here. So we're going to taxi via Delta, pretty much. Alright. Park and brake off. And we're going to spool up those engines. You guys are going to hear them. Man. Oh, that's one thing I forgot. I knew I had forgotten something. We're gonna check the cabin once we're almost there. We're gonna check the cabin when we're like right here. I usually like to do that. Alright guys, we're gonna be blasting out of default roam tonight. I really wish there was a good roam scenery, but current one is just not. It's just too similar to default to buy it. Just wasn't gonna be worth it for me. So we are currently about to enter Delta. I love this livery. And of course the exterior model is also fantastic. I really like it. Anyway, we were going over some changes on the V2 block. So I mentioned the avionics update. I didn't mention the new displays. So supposedly the displays are new. And the performance optimizations I already told you guys about, which are, from what I've heard, mainly CPU based optimizations. So for those of you who do not have good CPUs, this update's definitely going to be benefiting you quite a lot. Fun fact, there are over 1,000 changes written down on the changelog. So it is absolutely massive. There's a full changelog on their website. So you can go take a look at that if you want. I'm not going to be listing every single one of the changes, of course, but if you're interested, that is there. But obviously I'm not going to go through all those changes because there's far too many. So the logic of the sounds was also improved greatly. So not only the sounds, but also the logic of the sounds. Might take a look at the categories and kind of... Oh. I'm too used to the Tollus being responsive. Extremely responsive with the rudder inputs. That's why I'm kind of struggling here. Because the Fenix is a lot more realistic when it comes to those types of inputs. Which is very pleasant. Just kind of got to get used to that. Alright, so runway 25 should be right up ahead. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights. Strobe lights are also going to be coming on. And there we go. We're pretty much ready for takeoff. QNH is set. Climb and nav are armed. And yeah, we're going to go over some more changes. Whoa, wait, hold on. Okay. I think I got it mixed up. I'm not really sure how. Supposedly this is runway 25, isn't it? Maybe I was too distracted. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at it again. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So this is runway 34, right? Runway 25 is this one right here. Okay. Alright. So, I honestly am just going to take off of 34, right? Because getting back to 25 is just way too much work. I could exit the runway, taxi now down to 25, but let's just pretend ETC cleared us to another runway. Alright, so we're on the runway right now. We are pretty much all set up to go. Landing lights are on. Okay. So, on departure, we're going to make a left turn and get back on course. So, chrono. We're going to power up to 40%. Don't take off from there. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe, yeah, it's just gonna take 2 minutes. Let's just exit the runway. There's an exit right here. We can just, yeah, it's gonna be really hard to get on course if we take off from here, actually. They should really update that chart. It's really confusing to see the 2.5 right next to 3.4 right. 3.4 right's like way too far down. So this turn is illegal, but we're gonna make it anyway. Man, this is one disastrous taxi. But in the meantime, we can still go over some changelog stuff. So, yeah, so as I was talking about the rudder. The authority system was returned to the system side to provide consistent behavioral output to the user, which is definitely noticeable. And there were some rewrites on the PFD, the navigation displays, upper lower ECAM, and the FCU. Yeah, so if you guys had V1, you could tell that there was obviously incorrect fonts on the navigation displays, but apparently they corrected that, which I noticed. When I loaded up into the Fenix the other day, I was really confused because the fonts looked correct when on the screenshots they did not. So that's 2.5 right there. Charts are very confusing. Alright, so this is 2.5. So we're going to be taking off of 2.5. And we should be much more on course with this departure. So we're pretty much all set. So chrono start. 40%. There we go. And Togo. Yeah, what a mess of a taxi, but we made it to the runway at least. 80 knots. V1 rotates. There we go. Europe. Yeah, our rotate speed was actually like 130 something, but I started pitching up a little early. We're gonna follow the flight director. We're about to hit S speed, so I'm gonna just put my flaps up, go back to the FS Elite article. We'll take a look at the changelog again. That's another thing. On the tow list, I put the flaps up before turning on the autopilot, and I'm good. And VNAV doesn't disengage. But on the Fenix, apparently, I have to turn on the autopilot first, then put my flaps up, and then VNAV does not disengage. So that's another thing I learned. So I have the charts on my charts app. And I was taking a look at the constraints, but since we're not flying online, I don't think it matters too much. It should still hold them. past transition altitude, we bring the baro to standard. I always push accidentally when I'm actually supposed to pull it. And this one, guess you just manually set. Do you know of any flight simulators that are free and kind of realistic? Well, I think Infinite Flight is free, but it's not that realistic, and you also have to pay for a pro subscription to get decent planes. So I don't really, well, it depends. Like, if you are looking for mobile simulators, then there isn't anything that's really that realistic and free, to be honest. But if you're looking for a PC sim that's realistic and free, I would go for DCS, which is kind of more of on the military end, military sim, kind of. You fly like F-18s and whatnot. So I'm typically, I wouldn't fly that sim because there aren't any commercial aircraft. That's kind of what I fly the most. So if you're on PC, I would try DCS just because it's free. And there's also another one, which is GOFS, which is a website flight sim, which is not really that realistic, and I don't know. I don't use that one. I've used it before, but like, I don't know. It's not that interesting to me, because like, you don't actually fly sims. Well, the airplane from the cockpit is kind of like an external view thing. You don't get to interact with it that much. So it's boring, but DCS is a lot more fun because it's, well, that's my assumption. I've never really flown on it seriously, but I've seen videos on it and it seems to be very interactive and it's free, so I would give it a shot if you want. Wonder why I can't. Oh, accidentally moved my side stick for a sec there. I think I have to, okay. Still didn't clear, but anyway, we talked enough about features, so let's just go over some known bugs. So the expedite button, which is this one right here, supposedly doesn't work correctly. The autopilot roll is a little bit too snappy on certain occasions. The pitch flight director bar coupling could be better. So this is the flight director for those of you who don't know. And the deer takeoff with the deer 2 from and to entries causes crashes. So that's it for the bugs. I'm gonna be looking at some other. Oh, there was actually an update today, just about an hour ago. I'm gonna talk to you guys about that because most of you who are watching are probably gonna be able to update that. Those of you who own it. So, from the flight model, the flap 3 drag values were adjusted and the rotation weight and feel was also adjusted. Do you know if Microsoft will work on a very low-end PC that can be used for games but it's not a gaming computer? I don't think I've heard of Microsoft collabing with PC companies. but I don't think I've ever seen them actually build gaming computers. I mean, that's as far as I know. Could be wrong. So, so the version that is currently the latest, which I have right now, is v1.5.2.214. So it's basically v2 but with refined flare and rectified flap 3 drag situation. Basically fits the nose smashing down on landing instantly issue. A few fixes here and there with avionics, and VNav is also being polished. Besides that, they are also fixing high CPU usage across both Fenix Bootstrapper and the app. So yeah, and it also includes several crash fixes. They're fixing bugs as well. Alright. So, system updates. So, a lot of this stuff is very, I don't know, it's not even worth mentioning. For some. Let's go to the auto flight. So the deployment profile for the spoilers was adjusted. Oh, sounds. So tatsing sounds were improved. That's a really general one. The volume for the fuel pumps sounds were adjusted. Let's see what else. The speed brake test was added on the pedestal. So it's this one right here, I'm pretty sure. And I actually never noticed the fact that this wasn't here before. At least just because it's so insignificant to me. It doesn't really affect the functionality of the speed brakes in itself. So we're about to hit top climb, and about 20 miles after that, we're gonna hit top of descent. Hey Ref, welcome aboard. So glad you made it to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Heard it's late over there. Felt like doing a cabin tour just because it's so nice, but it's not like a customized cabin. I feel like we should take a look at the interactive elements of the cockpit, because so much can be clicked. I sometimes unintentionally click on stuff like this, for example. I wonder if this can be like opened. Oh, can't figure that out. About to be done with the airport. Nice. Doing great. Yeah, it's 11 p.m. I imagined. I think Zulu time 6 hours ahead now. So yeah, really nice views here in Italy. Pretty sure I flew over a volcano earlier. You know what airport? Yes, I'm pretty sure I know exactly the one you're talking about. But yeah, Fenix has been great. Do not mind my stupid issues earlier. It can't be a stream made by me if it's uneventful. Every stream I make, there's always something that happens. In this case, we reached 3-4 right accidentally. Lots have changed, that's for sure. Do you own the Fenix A320? Because I thought you only flew on Et's plane. Well, at least that's what I see from most of the screenshots you sent on the server. But yeah, we've hit cruise altitude in about 20 miles-ish. We're gonna hit, wait. Oh, guess it's a little bit more. Night lighting? You better nail night lighting with that airport. Stefan's probably gonna make a review on it. Actually, I'm sure he's gonna make a review on it because it's such a big airport that it's just impossible to overlook it. Actually, let me check his website. Maybe they made one on Oslo. Not yet, but I'm pretty sure soon they're going to. Oslo is a pretty freaking big release. But yeah, Fenix so far has been absolutely amazing, despite the issues that I've had, which were my fault earlier. This plane flies very, very nicely. I have never had a crash to desktop with this thing. And lots of times I have crashes to desktop using Microsoft Flight Sim, so yeah, you better place lots of detail because Stefan's not going to skip it. He is not going to skip San Antonio. That's pretty huge. I'm not really sure if he's going to cover Oslo. I mean, he's making reviews very, very often now, so yeah. Within 30 miles we're going to start descending. Might start entering some destination data from now. Sometimes I wait until like the last moment to do that because data can change so quickly. So altimeter is going to be 1016 tonight. Temperature is 26 degrees. Winds coming in from the southwest, 200 degrees at 4 knots. And for transition altitude, 6,000 feet. Yeah. I'm not sure if you were here, Lee. When earlier... Hold on. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the Rome airport chart. So, we made a mistake. I almost took off on 3-4, right? When I was supposed to take off on 2-5. Because there is a label right here. This is actually runway 3-4 right if you actually look closely. And this right here is 2-5. So I got very confused because this realistically, I would say it would be much better if they placed this here. Or if they placed it like, if they rotated it and put it like how 3-4 right is right now. It's so confusing. Like, I was on this runway and I was about to just say like, screw it, let's take off on 3-4 right. But I made an illegal turn here on Delta Kilo and made my way down here. Yeah, Tati was an absolute mess. Yeah, those tires are looking very nice. That must be some sharp ortho imagery, because the tires are actually like quite noticeable on the screenshot you sent me. what add-ons do you have in P3D, Rev? Because I was actually gonna... I've actually been considering P3D like so much lately. Because of the PMDG 777-300ER. I know I say that so much, but like, I'm seriously... like, so desperate for good 777s. So many routes that I want to take are on the 777-300ER. It's just crazy, like... This is why Microsoft Flight Simulator sometimes is superior to X-Plane. Sometimes. Look at these views. It's just amazing. And I would dare to say that even in X-Plane, we don't have an aircraft with this fidelity. That is an A320, specifically from the A320 family. Because we do have a lot of really good aircraft like the Challenger 650, but that's not an A320. It says Challenger 650. So, final approach fits tonight. It's gonna be 3,000 feet. And down we go. This thing's on climb, right? Yeah. Okay. So, might have to use some speed brakes because we had a really low what's it called, cost index. Oh, I need you guys to see the detail under the spoilers. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Like, you can see all the cables, hydraulic lines, and stuff. It's insane. This aircraft model is insanely well done. And I don't say that, well, for most MSFS aircraft, the detail is really impressive, but this one is, I'd say it's outstanding. Not only because of the exterior details and the cockpit texturing, but also because of the fact that you can go on the cabin and you can walk around the cabin, which you literally can't do on any other aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim as far as I know. Maybe the PMDG, but I'm not really sure. And it's also super like detailed, so it's just very impressive to me. It's a very well done aircraft. I wonder if the bathroom can be open too. No, that one can't be opened. So, we're idle on the thrust pretty much. Wait. So, Rev, how many PMDG aircraft are there? Because I know there's the 747, the 777, and the 737. But I'm not really sure how much. Oh, yeah, that's another thing that that has been scaring me off from P3D. Supposedly the physics aren't great, according to Leah at least. I mean, it can't possibly be as bad as MSFS. Maybe it can, but hopefully it's not, because that would be bad. Got you, I understand. Physics aren't bad, but they aren't explained. Well, that's not really a deal breaker to me, because look what I'm using right now. This thing is not even that realistic in terms of ground physics, and I enjoy it just as much, so maybe even more than explained sometimes. So I don't think it'll be that much of a problem if the add-on makes up for it. And in this case, it would be the PMD 777 that I'd be interested in. Yeah, the graphics aren't great. I don't expect the graphics to be great, because I don't really care that much, to be honest. When graphics are nice, it's good, as long as you're not compromising any other aspect of flying that's important. This is not a real-world route, by the way. On this plane, at least. I'm definitely going to be flying this plane a lot on stream when I can. You guys have to remind me, I need to make a review on the FPS E195, the new E195 that came out for X-Plane. I've been using it for the past few weeks, and it is a really, really good airplane. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more of a dedicated stream. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a review, because I'm not sure if I have that much time, but I'm gonna make a stream on it at least, and I'm gonna show you guys, give you guys my thoughts on the aircraft. But from now, I can already say it's absolutely, I'm not gonna say amazing actually. It's very solid, just not amazing, but it has a lot of potential. So we're gonna go auto brake slow tonight. I actually haven't taken a look at the information on the runway, but typically it's long enough for low. I rarely ever go med, because that's just a little excessive sometimes. Plus, MSFS aircraft can brake really quickly, so I feel like low should do just fine tonight. I will definitely take a look at the information. Yeah, the sounds aren't the best. They're tolerable, but they're not the best. They could be a lot worse though. I would say that the TOLA sounds, the default TOLA sounds, might be a little bit worse. No, let me be a little bit more specific. The default TOLA's engine sounds might be a little bit worse. Just from my experience. Yeah, they're not the greatest sounds, but in every other aspect of the airplane, the plane just flies really nicely. The price is the most surprising thing to me, because it competes with the X-Craft's E195, and yet in systems, it's probably better than the S-Crafts. It's also a lot more reliable, so it's a lot more stable. The plane doesn't really screw with you that much. That's the best way to word it. Because sometimes you can install an add-on aircraft, Kuro 787, and it's gonna crash on you 50 times. Nah, I'm just joking. Lee's gonna murder me for that. But yeah, the Kuro 787 should be stable, hopefully. I'm gonna try it out maybe on stream. But for a long haul, I need to do one of those with the Kuro. And I'm pretty sure that's Bologna down there. It is the MK Simulations, or no, MK Studios Bologna scenery. It is, from what I've seen, pretty good scenery. Pretty solid. It took you a week to properly configure Part 3D to your liking. Oh, okay, hold on. So here you can see the detail under the spoilers is phenomenal. It is extraordinary how well they've modeled that. Yeah, honestly, I'm also wondering, like, what does your Microsoft Flight Sim installation have that mine doesn't? Because you have literally, like, crashes for you are a lot less frequent than they are for me, so. It's crazy how we actually hit 2 likes this stream. That's it. That's the record. Gotta bump up the standards now. So that's the airport right there. Pretty darn sure that's the airport. We're gonna be descending through 10,000 feet. Basically, we're gonna be making that turn. It's gonna be super steep, because we gotta be by 3,000 pretty soon. It says 29 miles when it's actually not that far. Well, it is actually that far if you consider this entire turn that we're making. This already adds up to 15 miles. And then like 10 more miles. So yeah, 27 seems to be pretty reasonable. Yeah, each stream, like, back then, I was, like, a lot more popular. Now I'm just obsolete, because I keep streaming X-Plane, and I don't actually hop on MSFS that much. Okay, below 10,000 feet, landing lights are gonna be coming on. Whoa, why are they not? Seatbelt signs are coming on, and the signs actually work in the cabin. I know I mentioned that earlier, but since there's more people now, it's worth mentioning again. The signs actually work. This is something I have never seen on any add-on on any simulator ever. Never have I seen such visually well done aircraft. Well, yeah. Well, I guess the channel isn't really alive yet, because I haven't streamed in 4 weeks. This is the first time in 4 weeks that I stream. So, you know, I wouldn't say it's alive, but just yet. But I'm definitely gonna start streaming a lot more often. I'm gonna try to find the time, of course. If time allows, I'm gonna stream. Otherwise, I'm not going to. Simple as that. And we literally only use 2,000 kilograms of fuel, which proves my point about the fact that SimBrief does include reserves on the flight plan, and plenty of reserves actually. I just never take that into account because I'm so used to adding 1,000 to the total SimBrief gives me, which, you know, I guess it's not a problem. Why would it be a problem? As long as you have enough fuel. It wouldn't be a problem if I were flying in real life, but since I'm not, guess it's not. Okay, so once I make this turn, I'm gonna go ahead and actually no, I'm gonna turn it on right now. So approach mode is on. We caught localizer and glide slope. Speed brakes are gonna have to come out. And slats should be out. Yeah, we put the flaps out a little late. If we did it a little earlier, maybe we'd be going a lot slower right now. But it is what it is. I think we still got just enough time. Since we've caught the glide slope, technically we can just put the gear down. We're just waiting to drop below 200. There we go. That should generate more drag. Yeah, never fly like this. This is a very, very bad flying. The animations on this thing are also really, really nice. Flaps 2. Alright, we are at full. Track the speed brake levers. Pretty much is gonna have to idle out this entire approach. Do we have a tailwind right now? Oh, that explains it. Man, those things are roaring. The add-on aircraft are more demanding. So what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean demanding on performance, or? Oh no, I just realized I did not open Volanta. Let's see, what if I do that right now? I don't think it matters anymore. Alright, quick. Input the route. Save. Alright. Autopilot's coming off. I need to bind my auto throttle button. Whoa, lots of stuttering coming into Bologna. Way too high here. Pitch up a little more. Lots of stuttering. Probably useless, but 168 FPM? No, it's not useless. We got Volanta open now. So. That was a very hard landing, but my excuse is that we are having very, very massive stutters right now. Alright, let's clear the reverse thrust, manual braking. We're going to take this exit right here. Not really sure why the stuttering just randomly happened, but it is what it is. Yeah, that was definitely like at least 300. Alright. Bring those spoilers in. On performance? Oh, performance. Okay. Ooh. 611 feet per minute. 611 feet per minute. Holy moly, that's probably the worst one yet. Man. That was one hard landing. Not proud of that one. There's definitely been worse. I've seen worse. Yes. 600 feet per minute. That is impressive. Do I use the detent add-on for the TCA? Very confused. Why is this truck here? I think we're still in time to make a turn back into the taxiway. Oh wait, actually no. He's moving. Wait, is he? Well, he should. Not really sure why he even is parked there. I don't use any detents for the TCA flight controls. All I have from TCA is the side stick, and the rest of my flight controls are literally just honeycomb and the side tech rudder pedals. And I also have the Logitech radio panel. So engine 1 and 2 are now off. But yeah, that was minus 600. Minus 600 on that landing, which is ridiculous. And the truck left. But yeah, welcome to Bologna. We had very bad stuttering on that approach, but it was a nice flight. It was a very nice flight. I enjoyed it a lot. So that concludes my Fenix V2 stream pretty much. This aircraft add-on is very realistic, and if you are thinking of getting the Fenix, then I highly recommend it, because the systems are very nice and it is very visually appealing as well, so I feel like it's not really lacking in any aspect at all, actually, which is something that I don't say often or ever for an add-on aircraft, because add-on aircraft always have something, like, there's always something to complain about. But with the Fenix, I've had no complaints. Of course, there is always room for improvement. There's always ways you can make the aircraft more realistic. But with the V2 performance updates, and not only performance updates, but also navigation displays, like visual updates, avionics updates, with a change log of almost 1,000 freaking changes, you can obviously tell that the team was very, very committed, and they're constantly updating this airplane, and also at the price point that it's at, 49 pounds. I am very, very impressed at how much it's progressed and how much it's improved over the past year. So yeah, it's a very big thumbs up from me. Highly recommend the Fenix A320. And if you do buy it, I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much all on my end. Gonna go ahead and roll out the outro music. So yeah, not sure if the desktop audio is too high. Yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. For all of us stuck along, we will definitely be flying the Fenix more often on stream, so do expect more Microsoft Flight Sim content. If you have any more suggestions on what I should do for flying, do not hesitate to let me know. And yeah, that should be pretty much all for this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it, even though we had like 10 billion issues due to my mistakes, but hopefully next time we won't make as many. We'll pay more attention to the charts. So yeah, hope you all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.